Ladies and gentlemen, right this morning, we received our most awaited Sim Update 14, and the excitement has been ongoing from the last few days. The final update for this year. Yes, and I would imagine you got yourselves with the latest patch installed on your machines and busy in the skies. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, and I'm Chikmanglo. For more in-depth information on the release notes, you can find the link in the description below. Downloading the update. I've got to be honest with you, the download was a little tricky. It got paused in between, made me think that if I had to restart the entire thing again. All I did was hit pause and play to resume the download, and it went alright. It took some time though, and I'm not sure if this was an internet speed issue, but usually it's pretty quick. Now apparently this has been an issue for downloading the patch, and the team have been looking into the issue, hoping to offer us a solution. By the way, very importantly, make sure to update your GeForce drivers, as the first thing that happened to me when I hit the fly button was a crash to desktop issue. I got the latest GeForce updates and it went perfectly fine after that. So make sure to install the latest version of the drivers, which is 546.01. Talking about Sim Update 14, on a high level, there have been a number of fixes that went in. Enhancements in coverage, multiplayer, visibility, and various aircraft fixes. Not to forget general bug fixes as well. Now on aircraft fixes, notably there was one aircraft which was a common one to expect an overhaul, and this would be the Cirrus SR-22. It's about time we saw some default aircraft get addressed at the sim. Apart from that, features are a good thing to be newly introduced into the system. The added flight plan assistance setting for ATC. Now in the User Experience Assistance settings, users can choose to enable or disable a feature, allowing them to request the ATC to prioritize their flight plans or world map flight settings over the current conditions. Now this assistance is set to active by default. When set to active, the ATC will determine the active runway and approach for the departure and arrival airport based on the user's flight plan or settings in the world map. If you deactivate this, the ATC will instead set the active runway and approach based solely on the current weather conditions. On the line of bugs, numerous crashes have been addressed throughout the title, along with the fixes for localization bugs, performance optimizations designed for long flights, resolution of ATC issues involving mixed voices in local languages, plus an update to the automated weather report temperature reading. In terms of weather, the weather system enhancements include improved accuracy in snow and ice coverage, something to experience for all of us. Correction of an issue where wind from a malformed meter was inaccurately interpreted. Resolution of occasional retrieval of obsolete weather data. Smoother transitions during cloud coverage updates. And a fix for an issue where clouds fail to load when initiating a flight. In the line of aircraft, we saw many interesting things. Now aircraft updates include improved payload display, fixes for GNS screen input issues for models like the L39 and the P51D, external HUD enhancements allowing more engine power values. On helicopters, there's an option to disable anti-stall protection. Now towards aircraft, Airbus A310-300 and A320neo faced radio and console crash issues. This has been addressed. The Boeing series 787-10, the 747-8i get performance optimizations and ATC awareness updates. The Cessna Citation CJ4, the Daher TBM 930 see similar improvements. Now various fixes has been towards Curtiss JN4, Douglas DC-3, Grumman G21 Goose and others. If you remember the last Sim update, which was Sim Update 13, there were a couple of default aircraft that were addressed, which was the Boeing 747 and the 787 that saw a revamp. Similarly, the previous update before that, Sim Update 12, saw a major chunk of improvements towards the Airbus A310. Now the way it seems, we should expect more aircraft updates to see performance upgrades, improvements on various aspects from engines, autopilot, Garmin, performance optimizations, and more. Now Sim Update 14 doesn't necessarily have to be a successful update. There have been some of us who saw issues, but for the most part, good performance was definitely there. Now the issues some of them experienced saw players disappear on their screen, slower download speeds, a slightly lower FPS on some aircraft and airports. Visually speaking, there's one aspect that brings more attention to detail, plus realism. The update introduces a more authentic representation of wavelengths mapped onto RGB values for the ozone layer scattering and the sun's color. Now, how does this help us? This enhancement leads to a more realistic portrayal of the sky's colors, plus overall lighting within the virtual world. Now, the utilization of accurate mapping techniques ensure that the atmospheric elements, such as the scattering of light by the ozone layer, can align more closely with real-world physics. And as a result, the visual experience of the sky and lighting has been significantly improved, providing users with a more immersive and a true-to-life simulation of environmental conditions. Besides all that, volume support, Sim Connect, Dev Mode, and SDK, all these have seen updates benefiting developers reach greater heights on their creations. Overall, I'm quite pleased with the update, this kind if you ask me. Of course, not to forget, we should be thankful to the team who offer us constant updates helping improve our experience at Microsoft Flight Simulator. I truly hope you had a good experience as well, and as always, it's been a true pleasure with you all. Do subscribe as we bring you more towards a sim, and until next time, do take care and happy flying.